Hello out there, all my sports fans, all my film lovers, all my sports enthusiasts, and all my cinephiles. I'm FlickwithJustin, and welcome back to another ranking video. Last time we decided to rank all 8 of the Leprechaun movies, and yeah, those were a struggle, and I did not enjoy a lot of them. There were some surprises, there were some sleepers in there, I will say that, so it wasn't all bad. There were some that I actually did like, and I could go back and rewatch. But with opening day happening not too long ago, I figured why not take a look at one of the very few baseball franchises that there are, and take a look at the Major League Series, looking at all 3 of them, ranking them worst to last. I also realized, looking into it, that there are 2 other baseball franchises, which I had no idea. Completely forgot about the Sandlot franchise that there is, because I just blocked out the sequels, because in my eyes, I just think there's just the one and not the others. They might be good, but I'm not going to look at them unless someone suggests it. And then another surprising one is the Bad News Bears from the 70s. Never knew that there was even more than the one. You know, I just thought it was the original and the remake. Had no idea that there was a franchise over there with, I think, 2 or 3 other sequels, which is just crazy in my eyes. But anyway, we're looking at the one that started it all back in 1989, the Major League franchise. And to sum it all up, it's about a struggling team with a bunch of washed up players, past their prime players, a bunch of players no one even thought to even look at. All of them trying to build a winning team and show that they are worth a damn and that they are actually good players. The first 2 are similar in where the owner's trying to put together a terrible team so that she can sell the franchise. And then the third one is just about the whole struggling team. So, anyway, enough chatting, enough with the intro. I say let's get into the ranking, and let's get to what is the bottom of the list. And at number 3, at the bottom of our lineup, we have Major League 2 from 1994. Now, this one does have one of my favorite lines in the franchise with the "No Mabus," because it's one of those ones that I just quote randomly during my just everyday life. But the reason why I have this one at the bottom of my list is pretty simple. The old cast changing their character traits. They don't feel like the same characters from the first movie. There are so many changes. Wild Thing being this corporate, I don't want to say stooge, but that's just what comes to mind. You have Jake now being the manager, which isn't the worst thing, but it completely changes everything about him. Then you've got Willie Mays Hayes changing his whole thing, also being played by a different actor, which also I'm sure makes it a little bit weird for some people, but that's not against him at all. But it is just weird how he is changed. Also, Serrano is different. Like, just everybody feels so different. I'd say the only one who doesn't feel any different is Zorn. He feels like the same, you know, he doesn't want to play, but he does want to play though, but he doesn't want to get hurt, so he's thinking of his future and the money. He's probably, or Dorn, not Zorn, sorry, Dorn. He's probably the only one that might be the closest to how he was in the first one. Also, it felt really close to the first one. It felt almost exactly like the first one. Going but the same beats, with it being about a love story about one player trying to reconnect with an old flame. You know, Rachel comes back to take ownership of the team, trying to get them out. The only difference I would really say is the main villain team, which we don't even see much of them at all. It's more of a player than it is a villain. And it feels almost exactly the same as the first one. The beats are the same, the story's the same, the love story is the same. It's just all the same almost. Also, the same type of love story as the first. Like, I don't care. I didn't care about it in the first one, and I'm not going to care about it in the second one. I especially don't care about it in this one, because they hardly tackle it half the time. At least in the first one, they made it seem like it was important. This one, they do not make it seem like it's important. It almost seems like he cares, but then at the same time, he doesn't care about this girl, and he doesn't want to rekindle the flame, and then it's not until the end of it when he's like, I really do like you, Nikki, I really... No, I don't give a crap, okay? I just don't care. It doesn't do anything for me. And then it felt like a one-man show. It felt like once Charlie Sheen, I guess, became a bigger star, bigger actor, that they decided to put the film all around him and make it all about him. It felt like no one else was important. I can't even really tell you anything significant that anyone else really does in the movie, because they all feel like side characters to Charlie Sheen's Wild Thing. He feels like he's the main star, and everyone else is just side characters. Unlike the first one, where at least you had like 3 players who were main event, were the main leads, and everyone kind of felt important in some way. This one, not so much. But pros, though, I do like how the new cast members fit in well. With the new players coming in, I like how they gel with the older players and kind of bounce off of each other. I do like Omar Epps as Willie Mays Hayes in this. I'm not saying he's bad at it at all. The only bad thing I would say is that it feels like at times he's trying to do a Wesley Snipes impression, which I'd rather him just do his own thing and just do the character in his own version, not try to replicate what Wesley Snipes did. And I do think there are some good jokes in this movie. Obviously, the marbles line is funny. I do enjoy that. I do enjoy the hecklers in the crowd. Like, I do enjoy the crowd members that are just having random conversations while the game's going on. I do enjoy that very much. But there are some good jokes in this one, and there are some good lines. So it's not all bad. It's still somewhat enjoyable. But if you like the first one, you're going to kind of like this one, because it's almost the exact same movie. So overall, not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not the best in the series. And that's why it's number 3 at the bottom of the lineup. And I'm going to give it a C-. So moving on to our next one. Now on to number 2. And the middle of our lineup, we have one that might shock some people, but this one is number 2 because I have seen it the most, and I kind of guess nostalgia plays a factor into this one because I've seen it so many times. Probably seen this one more than all the other ones, but at number 2, we have Major League Back to the Minors, and honestly, this is a very close race for 1 and 2. There just were some things that made number 1 a little bit better, and unfortunately that's why this one fell at number 2. But it is very close, and maybe even on some other days, this could be number 1. Now the pros, I think Gus is a good lead. I do enjoy Gus's journey. He still wanting to be in the show, still wanting to be a player, but unfortunately giving it up and going to retirement and possibly enjoying life after baseball. But then when Dorn comes back and asks him to be a manager, Gus wants to help the others. He has a unique way of showing the players how to play baseball in certain ways, and it's very interesting because he knows all the tips and tricks of the game, and he loves it probably more than most people. He's just such a good lead, and I do enjoy this actor as well, so it makes it even better, that it makes it more enjoyable, I should say, and a little bit easier to enjoy the character. I also like Gus and Downtown's relationship. I like how they're always butting heads with each other because they want to be right. They want to, they both love the game. They both love and have the knowledge of the game. But Downtown, being such a pure athlete and having all of this talent, is having a hard time trying to come to the realization that I don't need to listen to you, or I need to listen to you because I do want to get better. And Gus wants him to be better. He wants him to be the best player that he can be and reach his full potential. And I love that they're butting heads most of the time, but deep down they do realize that they want to get better and they both want to benefit off of each other and make each other better. So I love that little relationship that they got. Also, Harry and Chuck, I love them in the commentating booth. I love them bouncing off of each other. I love how Harry doesn't even realize that Chuck cannot stand him at all, and he just kind of keeps one-upping him, and it's the back and forth is very enjoyable, and it makes listening to the commentary very good. Obviously, Bob Uecker is always a win. Cannot deny that. The man is enjoyable to listen to. He is funny, and yeah, he's gonna get a pro no matter what. The good mix of the returning cast and the new cast. We get some old members from the first two movies coming in here, like Serrano's coming in here. We get Rude coming in here from the second. Tatanka's coming back. So we're getting some older members coming in, but we're also getting some new cast that play well and they're not overshadowed, and like everyone's kind of almost an equal. Obviously, there's players who are more important, but even the players who are older still get a chance to shine, and they still have good moments in there as well. So they gelled well and they blended well, and no one felt like they were in the franchise for all three movies or two movies or one. They all went together well. Unfortunately, the cons, Huff is too goofy to take serious. As the main villain or the main bad guy rival in this one, I cannot take him serious. He doesn't really seem to pose a threat. He doesn't seem to know baseball hardly at all. And it's no shock that the twins in this movie are just a piece of crap and they suck. Because I wouldn't take this guy serious. And if I was any of those players, I could see why none of them are listening and don't really care about baseball. He's way too goofy and he's just a huge joke. The weird effects that are in this movie. There are some weird green screens where players don't look like they're even there, which doesn't make sense to me. The whole baseball doesn't look like it's even there, and at that point it's like, why did you even bother making it look like it was fake? Like, why didn't you just teach these players how to hit the ball instead of putting the CGI ball there? It was just really weird, and at times it kind of can take you out of it, but it's not the biggest thing in the world. It's just very noticeable when you see it. This one to me though is not as funny as or as quotable as the first two. I feel like there are lines in the first two that you can remember and quote all the time. I feel like the jokes are a little bit better in the first one. I feel like there's not as many jokes. There are jokes in here, but not enough that make me laugh or give me any reason to be like, these are better than the first two. It's still enjoyable, more so like the movie's just done well, and I do enjoy it a little bit more, but unfortunately I don't think it's as funny as the first two, and that's why it gets a C+, and it gets my second spot in. Alright, and at number one, our all-star, our lead-off spot right here. Now, like I said, 1 and 2 could easily be switched in depending on my mood, depending on the day. They really are interchangeable. But with this ranking, we are going to go with the original, the first one, Major League from 1989. So, the pros for this one, the cast. You gotta love the cast. All the cast members are enjoyable. They all just, the chemistry with all of them is so well done, especially the main three with Charlie Sheen, Tom Berger, I believe it is, or Beringer. Wesley Snipes is good in this. Everyone plays their roles very well. Everyone has good moments in this. Everyone shines, I feel like, and no one feels neglected at all. Everyone feels like they get at least a chance to do something or do something well. And I really enjoy the cast. And obviously, one of the biggest cast members that stand out the most to me is Bob Uecker. Playing as Harry Doyle, he is definitely an enjoyable commentator. I love listening to him. I wish I could have listened to him actually commentate real baseball games, because I bet you he was kind of like a Harry Carey in a way, maybe a little bit more funny, I don't know. Um, Harry Carey was before my time, so I don't know exactly other than the Will Ferrell sketches on SNL. But Bob Uecker always makes me laugh. I love all of the scenes he's in, and I really enjoy majority of his scenes. There's not any that I feel like I don't like. Definitely the biggest standout in this one for sure. The feel of a losing team winning. It is very nice because, like, I know what it's like to cheer for a losing team, and when they're finally starting to win, the town rallies behind them. All the players on the team become superstars all of a sudden because they're finally winning at a team in a city that really doesn't know what it's like to win. They haven't experienced winning, so when they start winning games, the superstars become like gods to them, you know, and it's just that feeling of these players now becoming superstars in the city, rallying behind them and loving them more and more as the season's getting closer to the end and getting them to the playoffs. So they really captured that pretty well, I thought. It definitely felt like they were like you were really watching this team go on 162 games and learning to get better and playing better as a team. So that was really enjoyable. And the last pro, some of the baseball scenes, some of them look really good. Like, they really do look like these players went to spring training, learned the fundamentals, learned how to play, learned how to catch, learned how to throw, learned how to bat, field, all of that. And it really shows in some of the scenes, and I really do enjoy watching it. It doesn't feel like they're actors at times. It feels like you're watching the athletes play, and it's like watching highlights and watching a real game as it's going on. It's very enjoyable, and it almost sucks you back into, like, this is just a movie. We're not watching a game, you know. It's just very enjoyable. Some of the scenes are done very well, and I do like how they did them. Now, some of the cons. Some of the references just not aging well. Some of them just, you know, you hear them and you kind of cringe a little bit and go, yep, that didn't really work, and that's not working now. That's really, really bad, and you could see that this is of a movie of its time, and unfortunately, yeah, those references just don't hold up too well. It's also not as funny as I remembered. I felt like it was a lot more funny than what I thought it was going into this. Maybe it's just the mood I was in or something, but watching it, I didn't laugh as much. Yes, there are a lot of quotable lines, and there are jokes that did make me laugh. But I feel like in my head, I thought this was like a whole lot funnier in my mind, but overall it just wasn't as funny as I remembered. And that just could be an age thing or a mood thing, but I don't know what else to say about it. And then the last one, the love story. I really did not care about the love story at all. I did not give a crap about it at all. Jake and whatever her name was, like, I just did not care. I did not care about him trying to win her back and then going constantly, like, not taking the hint of her saying, no, I don't care about you, Jake. I'm moving on. I'm getting married. I mean, this dude literally sabotaged a whole wedding because he wanted to get back with his old fling, which he was down in Mexico sleeping with multiple women. So I don't give a crap about it at all. I don't care that he was trying to improve and be better for her and that she ended up leaving her fiance. Like, I just did not care, and it really kind of ruined it for me. But yeah, it was a whatever love story, and I kind of felt like once the love story was happening, I was like, okay, can we hurry up and get back to the baseball part or something else? Because I really could care less about this. If anything, I cared more about the Dorn family more than I cared about this relationship. I really did not care about it. But overall, that's my pros and cons for it, and I will give it a C+, and that is the ranking. Now, tell me your rankings down in the comment. Who do you have at first? Who do you have at last? Am I outside of my mind having number 3, having Major League 3 as number 2? Let me know. Also, let me know what movie franchises you want me to rank. I have an idea of what I might do for May. These might be like a month thing. I have no idea if I'm going to do them monthly or if I can get them out even faster and do other rankings, but right now it's just going to do a monthly thing and I'm going to enjoy it as that. But if you'd like to see me rank any other movie franchises, please let me know in the comments. Until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.